welcome to your Daily 5 for Tuesday, December 12th, 2023. I read a really interesting article over on the video game website Aftermath that was talking about a $4 Steam game called The Exit 8. I keep almost referring to it as Exit 8, but it is in fact, from the Steam Store page, The Exit 8. And the game's premise seemed really simple, interesting, and honestly appealed very much to me because as the author of the article, which I'll link to here, was talking about that if you were an OCD type personality, that you would probably really gravitate towards the game. And so I figured, okay, $4. I mean, $4 is about as cheap as a game. I mean, don't get me wrong, you could have a 99-cent game or a 50-cent game, I suppose. But in terms of a game that sounds like it works and has some type of interesting premise, $4 is a pretty low floor to come in on. So I figured, okay, I watched some gameplay videos. It looked interesting, and I thought this might be a fun game for me to play and record some videos of and just have a good time with for $4, which in terms of entertainment, there's not much you can get for $4 anymore that is genuinely as good as this game is. Now, if you've seen nothing about it, if you haven't clicked the links in the show notes, the Exit 8 is a pretty straightforward game to explain. And I'll go into more detail about it on Friday. And in fact, there is a video up. One of my first video playing it is already up, so you can go watch that as well. But it's essentially a walking puzzle game where you are walking down the hallway of a Japanese subway station. Technically, I guess it's, an entrance, a short hallway, a long hallway, two more short hallways, I think. Well, although the last hallway is sort of a repeat of the first one. So technically, it's 3 short hallways and a long hallway. And in that hallway, there are a number of objects and things that will happen that if you see something about them that is out of the ordinary in terms of repetition, meaning it's not repeating the same way, you have to then turn around and go back the way you came so that you can get to the exit of the subway tunnel. And you have to do that 8 times. If you successfully either identify an anomaly, which is what they refer to them as, or you go down the hallway and there are no anomalies and you correctly observe that and proceed, then after 8 times you will come to a staircase that leads you out of the game and you get a congratulations screen. And that's how it goes. There are 2 achievements for the game. One is to beat it once, which I have. It took me in total, about 50 minutes, about an hour or so, doing it the way I did it, but it was 2 different playthroughs. And the second playthrough, I went through and did it in about 30 minutes, I think. That video will be up, so you can watch it. And the second achievement is to see and identify all the anomalies, which I have, I believe, I don't remember if it was 9 or 6 left. I have less than 10 left. And honestly, that's the whole game. That's really all there is to it. It is basically a game where you are observing the environment that you're traversing through, and you keep doing that, and what you're doing is trying to tell whether there is anything different about the area that you're passing through. That's it. So it's more or less a memory game. So I guess it's a walking memory game where you look at all these. For example, there's an array of posters on the subway walls you would find in most subway stations. And when you look at them, things about them can change. They might be very obvious. And it's a bit of a spoiler, but I'll say it like this. You may see something that repeats more than once when it never did before, or there may be something about one poster that is different than it was before, and they may be very easy to pick up on, or they may be more subtle. Now, I don't think, and I say this, I think, in my videos, I don't feel like the game is ever cheap about it. It definitely does demand observation. You can't really just run through it because there's a run button. You can't just run through and expect to see everything. That would be difficult. But I don't think that it is unnecessarily difficult. It's not trying to avoid having you win. It really is presenting a relatively straightforward memory puzzle that you have to solve multiple times in a row. And I think it's a blast, especially for $4. Had I paid over twice this, I would have been happy with it because it does, to me, have repeatability. This is a game where once I get all the anomalies, I'm going to basically not play it for some amount of months and then come back and play it again and see how much I pick up again. It's very replayable in that way. So it's a short game, but it's only $4. And I think I would love to see a series of follow-ups to this game. Different subway stations in different countries with different anomalies. I would love to see this game continue in multiple forms. I think it's a wonderful template for games for people who enjoy this type of thing. Not necessarily going to be for everybody, but again, if you watch my gameplay video or the stuff on the actual Steam page and it looks at all appealing, or you read the Aftermath site and that sells you on it, you will enjoy it. For $4, it is a blast to play through. So again, it's called The Exit 8. It's on sale for now on Steam right now for $4 and well worth every penny. Later.